Alright, the purpose of this video is to show students some finer points when working with volume calculations. So we see here on this problem, if you read through it, we have a 300,000 liter tank. It has to be 7 meters tall, and we need to find the diameter of said tank. So I know it's a cylindrical tank, so first thing I would do is draw a little picture of what's happening here. So I would draw a crappy little tank here, and I know the height is 7 meters, and I know I need to find the diameter of that particular tank. I know the volume of a cylinder is equal to the area of the circle with the top and the bottom, so pi r squared times the height. I can't use that formula yet. I can't just plug in the 300,000 with respect to the volume, because this is in units. I have r squared, and that's going to be in units of meters or centimeters or any other dimensional analysis. So I need to take this 300,000 liters and I have to get it into a dimensional measure of volume, something like cubic centimeters or cubic meters. Since the height has to be 7 meters, I'm probably going to have to throw this over and put it in meters. So I need to convert the 300,000 liters before I do anything else whatsoever. So my next step now, 300,000 liters, set up a conversion factor. How am I going to get liters into something usable? Well, I know a link between liters and cubic centimeters. I know that 1 liter is 1,000 cubic centimeters, because a cubic centimeter is the same as a milliliter. So I can make that calculation easy enough. And then I know something about cubic centimeters and cubic meters. I know that in 1 cubic meter, there are 1,000,000, 1 times 10 to the 6th, 1e6 cubic centimeters. So liters cancels out. I'll do this in a different color. Liters cancels out. Cubic centimeters cancels out. That leaves me in units of cubic meters. And now all I have to do is make that calculation. And I'll just bring in the handy-dandy calculator here. And we'll go 300,000. And we're going to multiply by numbers on top. So I multiply by 1,000. And I divide by 1 times 10 to the 6th, 1,000,000 cubic centimeters. And we get a value of 300 cubic meters. Now I can use that volume in my cylinder calculation right there. Easy as pie. We'll try a little flag right there. How about that? So now I can use this formula to do the rest of my calculations. So volume of the cylinder now, I have it in 300 cubic meters is equal to pi times r squared times, I know my height of my cylinder has to be 7. So let's go ahead and bring up the calculator and let's go ahead and solve for the radius. Now I'm assuming algebra is something you guys can follow along with pretty easily. So I'm going to type in my 300 meters here. I need to divide by the pi. So divide by, I'm sure there's a pi button on here somewhere. And we're looking. There it is. Divide by pi. I need to divide by the 7. And now I have to take the square root, which is the same thing as raising to the 1/2 power. And I get a radius of 3.69 meters. I don't want the radius. I want the diameter. So how do you find the diameter? You double it. Times 2. 7.39 is my answer for the diameter. So the diameter, diameter equals that times 2, 7.39, and that is in meters. Some people that talk about significant digits. Since you only have one significant digit in both of these numbers, then okay, 7 meters is your diameter. So for sig figs, your diameter is 7. My intention was not to do sig figs on this. I'd have given more sig figs if I wanted to do sig figs on this particular calculation. Moral of the story, if you want to use formulas to find volumes, you can't use units like liters or milliliters. You have to be in dimensional measures of units. So you need to be in something like cubic meters or cubic centimeters or any of those particular types of units. You can't just be in liters, milliliters, any kind of liquid volume measure. All right, I hope that helps you. This particular video will not stay on YouTube long because this is a part of my homework packets that I assigned, but I didn't have time to go over this in class. If you have any questions for Milton Union students, feel free to ask later. Thank you.